nation. Who made it? Made by the upper caste people only. Who said like that? H.J. Khandekar said. Then, addressing his more privileged colleagues, Khandekar said, "We are suppressed for thousands of years. You engaged us in your service to serve your own ends and suppressed us to such an extent that neither our mind nor our bodies and nor even our hearts work, nor are we able to march forward." So you upper caste people, what he said, upper caste people, they used the lower caste people according to their need. That's why these lower caste people, they are not able to stand and march how the constitution is saying, like that they want to come forward, they want to get this reservation, that reservation, like that they are not able for, like that the H.J. Khandekar said. Along with the former untouchables, the Adivasis or scheduled tribes were also granted reservation in seats and job. So not only for SC people, scheduled caste people, with that scheduled tribes also got some reserved seats in constituencies as well as in job. Like the scheduled caste, the Indians too had been deprived and discriminated against. The tribals had been deprived of the modern health care and education, while their land and forest had been taken away by more powerful outsiders. So we have seen that one, what was the forest law of the British, like that things we have seen. So these people, they also discriminated because of the British people or because of this forest law and other things. At the same time, they was far away from the modern health care as well as education. The new privileges granted them by the constitution were meant to make amended for this. So if they once made constitution, then whenever we want to make changes in that one, we want to make the amendment of the constitution. So the new privileges granted them by the constitution were meant to make amends for this. So to give the special reservations to different groups, we made the amendment in our constitution also. Then the Constituent Assembly spent many days discussing the powers of the central government versus those of the state governments. So that time itself we planned, before independence it has started. That's why I want to think how our leaders was thinking about the future of India, and what they done, they started to think about how it should be the relation between central government and state government. So we studied about about central government in 8th standard, state government in 7th standard, and village panchayat as well as municipality in 6th standard. So again we are going to study all these things in 10th standard. So it is needed, what all things? Central government, state government as well as the local government. Local government, it is divided in different names according to the area. That in village level it is known as village panchayat or gram panchayat, and the small cities, towns, like that, it is known as municipalities, and little more bigger one, it is known as municipal corporation. Then according to that, who is leading that government, that names also different. In village panchayat we will call it sarpanch or panchayat president, and the municipalities we will call it municipal chairman, and in the municipal corporations we used to call the leader as a mayor. Okay, so that time itself we thought about the two relation of these two, which one? Central government as well as state government. Some members thought that the sender's interest should be foremost, but in the same group some people thought like that the sender's interest should be more important than the state, like that. Only a strong sender, it was argued, would be in the position to think and plan for the well-being of a country as a whole. So what they said, if we are having a central government, that also strong it should be, and what they can do, it would be in a position to think and plan for the well-being of the country. So this is how the central government want to think for a country, not for an area. If Prime Minister from maybe from Tamil Nadu or from Bihar or from any state, and the Prime Minister should not think only for a particular state. Instead of that, what they want to think? They want to think for all of means total country. Then the other members felt that the provinces should have gathered greater autonomy and freedom. At the same time, the opposite group, what they said, the state government want to get, or the provincial government want to get autonomy as well as freedom. A member from Mysore feared that under the present system, democracy is centered in Delhi and it is not allowed to work the same sense and the spirit in the rest of the country. So this is the debates what happened inside the Constant Assembly, like from here and there they taken one or two sentences and given to us to understand how our leaders was thinking, debating on that one, and opened their eyes and coming with a different ideas how they was changing like that things. So one of the member from Mysore province, what he said, democracy is centered in Delhi. Democracy where it is centered? It is in Delhi, and it is not allowed to work in the same sense and spirit in the rest of the country. So it is the head is there in the Delhi, so other parts of the country may not get the same working condition, peaceful democratic working condition like that. He got fear. A member from Madras insisted that the initial responsibility for the well-being of the people of the provinces should rest with the provincial government. So again from Madras state, that time Tamil Nadu was known as Madras state or Madras province. So Madras province member, what he said, the initial responsibility of the well-being of the people, it should rested on, or it should give to the provincial government. The constitution sought to balance these competing claims by providing 3 lists of subjects. First one, a union list. Please underline a union list with the subjects such as taxes, defense and foreign affairs, which would be the exclusive responsibility of the Senate. So we made, our Constituent Assembly made 3 lists. First one, it is union list. Some of the examples: taxes, tax, defense, foreign affairs, etc. That duty given to whom? Central government. Then next one, a state list of subject, a state list, that is the second one, a state list. And in state list, what all things it is coming, such as education, health, irrigation, like that things. It is only in particular area, it will be different. So like that things, it is given in the hands of state government, which would be taken care of principally by the state. So it is the duty of education, health, irrigation, like that things want to discuss and plan and solve the problems of the people by the state government. Then last one, it is a concurrent list. What is the last one? Concurrent list, under which would come subjects such as forest, agriculture, in which the center and the state would have joint responsibility. So the third list, it is known as concurrent list. In concurrent list, state governments plus central government want to sit together and want to plan for that. Example, it is given forest, agriculture, etc. Then another major debates in the Constituent Assembly concerned language. Many members believed that the British language should leave India with the British rulers. So the English language, what we want to do, we want to skip from that, because it is came with British people. When British people going back, it should go with them, like that some of the members argued. Then should be taken by Hindi instead of that one. Which one we want to take? Hindi as a language, official language of India, like that. However, those who did not speak Hindi were of a different opinion. So like Tamil Nadu people or Kerala people, Telangana people, like that people, those who was not speaking Hindi, they had a different opinion about